Hello everyone, I'm Travis Tangman and welcome to the first installment of Kitchen Travesty. Tonight we're going to kick it off with a little date night dinner, some braised chicken, some kohlrabi slaw, and some nice roasted vegetables. All of it coming from our farmer's market. A bunch of local farmers, really good, really fresh stuff. We're going to start off with our coleslaw first, get it in the refrigerator, get those flavors marrying together, and then we'll move on to our chicken. But right here I have some rainbow chard, really beautiful red, orange, and yellow stems, nice green and purple leaves, it's really gorgeous stuff. Some Napa cabbage. We also have some yellow carrots, nice and julienned up, nice and thin. And we have some kohlrabi here, which you can sub out for anything you want, but it's kind of got a almost broccoli turnip style taste to it. Really good stuff. So I just made a nice blend in our bowl. Probably 2 cups of the chard, about a cup of our Napa, and then a half a cup of each of your root vegetables because they'll stay nice and crisp, give it a nice pop of color. We're also going to throw some fresh green onions, about a quarter of a cup. Then we're going to do a little bit of salt. I have some smoked sea salt here. We're going to put about a tablespoon on it so it can start wilting down our vegetables while we make our sauce to toss the vegetables in. That'll help kind of break them down, make them get nice and tender really fast, and bring some of our water out of them. So over here, we're going to start off with some malt vinegar. We're going to do 1 cup of that in the bowl. Then we're going to hit it with our seasonings so they can get in there. It's a tablespoon of celery seed. Just a pinch of black pepper. You don't really need much of it. We're also going to put about a teaspoon of smoked paprika and a 1/4 cup of sugar. That'll help sweeten up that vinegar. Really good stuff. And we're going to put a pinch of our smoked sea salt in here. Not a lot. So we'll be able to season at the end once it's all together to make sure it's the salt level that you want it. Take about, I'd say 15 seconds of whisking. You want to start breaking down your sugar. The rest of it will dissolve in the slaw. Then we're going to get some sour cream. Do it about 6 ounces, so a cup of vinegar, 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. You can use mayonnaise. Sour cream and the malt vinegar is a really good combo though. It's a little bit healthier than mayonnaise, and a little bit brighter flavor. It's really good. So we get that in here. Make sure we got it all. And we're just going to whisk this up. Try not to make too much of a mess. And it will be nice and thin. That'll allow it to cook these vegetables down really well. So we're going to pour about half of it on our vegetables now. We may be able to save some of it. Probably won't take all this. Let's see what we get. Let's get a pair of gloves out so we don't have to wash our hands a million times. Let's toss this up. Let's see what we got. You know what? Let's go ahead and use it all. There we go. So there's a lot of cooks that have probably worked with me now. I'm not a big measurements person. You know, I kind of do a sprinkle of salt here, a shake of pepper there. So kind of be a little seat of our pants on some of these recipes, but that's the fun part. You can change it at home if you want to, do something a little different. You know, no recipe has to be stuck to the rules. You can change it up and do whatever you want. This is smelling really good. You can smell the vinegar, the sour cream. Smell our green onions in here. This is going to be really good stuff. And that's it. You just want to put it in the fridge. You can let it sit in there. I'd like to do it early in the morning, and then so we can have it for dinner. It sits in there, breaks the vegetables down. A little less crispy, which is really good. So we're just going to put this in here and let it sit till dinner. Let's start on our chicken. All right, so let's get started on our chicken. I like to use chicken thighs. They stay really moist through any of this cooking process, through braising them. If you overcook them a little bit, you'll be fine in the end. It'll give you a nice product. So I've got my pan with about a tablespoon of butter at a medium-high heat and a little bit of olive oil on the chicken. So when it hits the pan, it'll allow the butter not to burn, heightening that smoke point of the butter with the olive oil. I've also preset my oven to 350 degrees, so by the time we get everything ready and in the pan, it'll be ready to go and pop in the oven. So now that my butter's nice and hot, nice and sizzling, we're going to go top side first on the chicken, so you get a really nice sear on the outside of it. That sound, that's what you want. That's really good. We're not going to cook it all the way through this process either, so we want a nice hard sear. We got that in. I'm going to let that go for about 1 minute on each side, maybe a minute and a half on the top side. You get a nice color. Alright, we got that going. I like to do this. I got a just yellow onion cut in half. I'm going to toss it in the pan. Let it get a nice sear. It'll go in our bacon pan with us in the end. That'll add a lot of flavor to our stock. It's already smelling good. And what we got here is our leaves from our rainbow chard. So it's nice colors I was talking about. Runs up through the ribs, really nice yellow. This one's nice, bright red on the back and orange on the front. Really gorgeous stuff. Yeah, another bright red rib. Oh, gorgeous stuff. Very gorgeous. Where I'll pull out my big cutting board so I have a nice flat surface to work on. And go ahead and just lay these leaves out and ready to roll up. Good stuff. Really good. That's smelling fantastic right now. And we're going to go ahead and flip it. I'm just going to leave those onions flat side down the whole time. It'll get a kind of burn onto it, which is actually very good with onion. Charred onion, really good stuff. As you'll see, you got a little bit of color on there. Still kind of beige. That's going to be really good. Do the same thing for the bottom side. While that's going on, we get another pair of gloves on. And that should be enough of a sear to keep the juices in as we bake this. Like I said, you're not cooking it all the way through, so it doesn't need to go long. I'm going to pull this out. What I got here is 2 cups of chicken broth. We're going to go right into that pan we seared the chicken. And go ahead and get it hot, because it'll go on top of our chicken in the pan. That'll also pull up any of the flavors that were in the pan if we're cooking, because you can do any kind of Lowry's on your chicken you want to. Any of your house blend seasonings for this will work really well. And this will help infuse it with the stock, adding flavor to the end. Let's grab our chicken breast. We're going to go face side down onto our chard. Pull it over one time. Fold in your corners. Roll it over one more time. You got nice little riblets across the back from the chard. Pop it down in the pan. Same thing over here. Fold her up. Pull your sides in. Kind of like you're wrapping a burrito. Fold it under, and we'll put that folded side down. So as it cooks, it'll keep it wrapped up with the pan. Same thing. So if your leaves are a little small, some of these are, you're not going to be able to fold the sides in, which is fine. It'll still seal all that moisture in really well. Go 3. On our stock's boiling. Perfect time because I'm about done. Let it cook for a second, kind of reduce that flavor. Oh, it smells really good with the onion. Smells very good. So now that we got these wrapped in our chard leaves, I like to butt them up against each other a little bit. Not allowing, rolling away, not allowing a bunch of space in between them for movement. Because once this stock boils in the oven, it will try to move them around a little. They're looking good. Real good. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our onions. We're going to pop these in the pan right in between them. This will also kind of wedge them into place, keep them where they need to be. And then pour the stock right in the center. And 2 cups of stock should be perfect. It'll bring you right under level with them. You don't want them floating around in there and moving around a bunch. You want it, you know, just about where we got it here. Our oven's right at preheated. We're at 335. We're almost there. You want to cover this in foil. That'll seal in all the juices, not let it dry out and overcook the kale. Or not the kale, the chard. Sorry. Nothing against kale, but the chard's a little bit better. Like I said, we got it nice and tight. Our oven has hit temp, and that is my coonhound losing it. He's a loudmouth. And we're going to go right in the middle rack, center of the oven. It'll probably stay in there for about 30 minutes. If you're unsure, you can temp it. You want to hit 165 for about a minute in there. Dead center, make sure you hit that, and you should be good to go. And now let's work on to our roasted vegetables. Alright, now that we got our chicken in the oven braising, we've got our coleslaw in the refrigerator marinating away, we're going to start on our roasted vegetables, which we're going to do 2 different pans going in the oven. We'll start off with our semi-dried tomatoes, which are a great addition to really any meal, but it'll really amp this meal up. So it's literally just cherry tomatoes, nothing done to them. I'm going to put about a tablespoon or 2, it's about 20 tomatoes. A little bit of olive oil, and we're going to do a little bit of sea salt. And that's it. That's all we're going to do to these. We're going to toss them around, make sure they're nice and coated. Then they're going to go in a nice Pyrex pan and go in our top oven, which I got sitting at about 250 degrees, and they'll sit in there 30 minutes or so, blister up the outside of them really well, and really just kind of get that flavor strength into the tomato. Nice pop of flavor. Simple enough, really amps up a meal. You can put them on anything. Nice caprese with them, super delicious. Alright, and now we're going to do our roasted vegetables. We have some of that green cauliflower, really pretty stuff from Belletto. Gorgeous green cauliflower. Do a little zucchini. I'm probably going to do about 2 cups of each of one of these. They won't cook down too far, so it'll give us a nice meal, maybe some leftovers for tomorrow. Do some big, large diced onions, yellow or red. I like the way yellows come out in the end. Your purple onions tend to get a dark color when they come out of the oven. Go with about 1/2 of a yellow bell pepper and a tablespoon of minced garlic. We got that all in there. We're going to use our other tablespoon of olive oil. I'm probably going to go with about the same amount, if not twice as much butter. Butter and everything. Butter is delicious. Butter is flavor. Yeah, we're going to go 2 tablespoons of butter to 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And we're doing that for the same reason we did it for our chicken. That won't let the butter burn while it's in the oven. We'll let it sit in there longer, but still get a really nice color and a really nice flavor. Tablespoon of pepper. We're going to go with a tablespoon of salt. Set these over. Oop, lost one. That's fine. And all we're doing is just tossing that so the butter and the olive oil get a nice coat. You can mix them up on the pan, not necessarily trying to get an even distribution. It's fine. And I like to do this on a metal pan. You get just a little better conductor of heat. You get a lot better color on your roasted veggies doing that. The glass one will seam them a little bit and let out a lot more moisture. Biggest key to this is you want them spread thin. You don't want to pile them up because then they won't allow the ones under them to cook. So a nice even spread right across there. Same oven that we have our chicken in at 350. We're going to put it on the top rack, and 20 minutes in, we'll blast that oven to 400 degrees to get a nice color across the top of them. Probably 5 minutes at 400, 20 minutes at 350 should be perfect. And alright, now everything's in for dinner. We got our chicken going, we got our vegetables going. I'd say about 30 minutes we'll be pulling everything out of the oven. letting that veg stay in and get its last blast from the heat, and the chicken will be done, and we'll have a nice plate of dinner in just a moment. Alright folks, so now it's time to pull our chicken and our vegetables out of the oven. Pulled the tomatoes out about 10-15 minutes ago. They were looking good. It smells really good in here right now. Oh yeah. There we go. Really good color on all that. Chicken, nice and bubbly. Definitely stayed wrapped in its leaves. That should be really moist. Let's see. Here we have our semi-dried tomatoes. Those are going to be really good pops of flavor. And next we're going to move on to plating our dinner. Make it look nice and pretty. Alright, I want to thank you all for joining me on the first episode of Kitchen Travesty. Hopefully you learned something new, and if you enjoyed my channel, please subscribe. I got the link below. Also have the link to my Facebook. It'll have all the recipes from tonight. I'll have those posted later on. And hopefully y'all join me for the next episode coming out soon. Thank you, everyone.